What's up guys, my name's John and you are watching Whisper Tactical. Now today I'm doing this video at the request of a lot of people who follow my channel. I've had a lot of people say, hey John, can we see your collection? Would you do a gun collection? So I figured I would just go ahead and jump on the bandwagon and do an end of the year collection. It is about 10 p.m. on December the 31st. We are getting ready to ring in the new year and I can't be more excited, guys. I am fairly certain that 2021 is going to be the year of the gun. I think that this is going to be the most prosperous year for us gun owners ever, and I'm going to do the same video on the last day of 2021, and I actually want to see what 2021 does for my gun collection. Guys, I am almost monetized. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below. First on the table is my favorite gun in my collection, hands down, and it is my Glock 19X. I love this gun. I've got almost 3,000 rounds through this gun at this point, and I am the most accurate with this gun. Like, I love this gun. I shoot it better than any gun I've ever shot in my entire life. I have a backup tactical threaded titanium nitride, gives it the gold look, and I have a Olight Boulder Pro with that midnight bronze. So I think that the four colors of the four colors there, I think they accent each other very well. They're all on the same color spectrum. They're kind of close, but not exactly the same. And I really love this gun, guys. I have not done anything to this gun. I will not modify a Glock. The only thing that I have done is put the Olight Boulder Pro on it, and I've put the backup tactical threaded barrel. It already came with night sights. This is my go everywhere with me gun, and I will never, ever, ever get rid of this gun. Next on the table is my EDC, but it is not going to be my EDC for long. This is my Sig P365xl. I need to take the Romeo Zero off because I absolutely hate the optic. This gun is one of the best shooting compact, micro compact guns, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the best shooting ones that I have ever shot. It shoots flat. It does have a bullet weight preference, and that is 124 grains. Other than that, I'm probably going to give this gun to my fiance to carry because I know it's reliable, I know it's accurate, I know it's not going to fail her, and I'm going to move back to the Glock 43X. I'm going to get the MOS version so I can put myself a little optic on there. My fiance can shoot this gun very well, and I'm going to give it to her. Next on the table is what my fiance carries now, and that is the Taurus G2c. Now this is not one of the new ones or anything like that. I bought this gun at Rural King. It was $199 and they had it marked down to $179, and in the box is a $25 mail-in rebate. And so I got this gun for $154.99. And the day that I bought it, I bought 1,000 rounds of Blazer aluminum case for $149.99. I begged her not to get this gun. I begged her to get anything micro compact or compact other than this one. This is the one that she wanted. And when we got home and started shooting that Blazer through it, we ended up putting every single round, all 1,000 rounds. We put that entire case of ammo through this gun. It was so fun to shoot. It was so impressive. It was so accurate. It has adjustable rear sights. It takes down like a Glock. It's easy to rack. I mean, easy to rack. And it has a great little trigger in it. I mean, it's got a lot of take up, don't get me wrong, but at the wall, you're pulling it about 4.5 pounds. It's got a little manual safety, which I don't like. Some people like. It has a loaded chamber indicator. I don't really care too much for that. If you want yourself a compact 9mm that's a budget gun that will be reliable and not let you down, I highly recommend you get yourself a Taurus G2c, G3, G3c. They are all ridiculously reliable and they don't have any problems. Like, there was no recalls or anything crazy like that. We've got well over 1,000 rounds through this guy as well, and I have never, ever, not one time ever had a single malfunction out of this guy. Next on the table is the Lipsey's Glock P80. This is a copy of the Glock that started it all in the early 1980s. The Austrian military picked this gun up and it was so popular that it moved to the United States. This is a copy of the original Gen 1, but essentially it is a Gen 3 17. It does not have a beveled slide up front. It does not have front slide serrations. It does not have a rail. It does not have the harsh stippling texture on the grip. It has that smooth pebble. It's really comfortable to shoot. I've got about 1,200 rounds through this gun and my trigger has broken in something nice. It is a single pin frame, and guys, if you do not have one of these guns in your collection, I highly recommend you find yourself one and get it. Meridian Ordnance He's got one of these in stock, and I'm pretty sure he will ship. Call, talk to Gus, Mike, Tim, or Garrett. Pick yourself up one of these guys, or maybe anything else you want. The next gun in my collection is one of 2 guns that I own that are not registered to me. This one was actually registered to my grandfather. He passed away and left it to me. This is a Beretta 92 Fs Vertec. This gun doesn't even have 500 rounds through it. I don't shoot it because I don't want it to change. I want it to stay the way it was when he had it. I did put a few rounds through it on Christmas for my little Christmas cooking video. That's the most that had been shot through this gun this year. Me and him went to Bud's early 2000 and picked this up when Bud Wells owned it, and it was still in Paris, Kentucky. I love this gun. I have so many good memories with this gun, and it is one of my favorite guns in my collection. Next on the list is the Sig P320 Axg Scorpion. And guys, once again, if you do not have one of these guns in your collection, I highly recommend you find one and add it to your collection. Now granted, I paid $9.89 for mine, and Bud's is selling them for like $1,300 or $1,400 because they're a bunch of price gouging assholes. But other than that, this gun is a fantastic gun. Now when I did my first 500 round review, I really bashed this gun, but it wasn't me bashing the gun, it was me actually bashing the company for releasing a so-called custom gun that is not custom at all. There is nothing custom about this gun. Everything about this gun was actually done to another gun that Sig has. I think it's like a P30, 230 something, or a P229 or something. But it's also called the Scorpion. It's got the same grips, the same color, the same everything. But for some reason, they slapped a Legion trigger in this gun, and they called it a custom gun. It's a custom works gun with nothing custom. So you got a little custom coin and a custom case. That is about as custom as this gun got. I love this gun. I have put this gun through hell, and it has survived everything. Now, it did fail quite a bit when I was running it suppressed, but you know, it is what it is. It is one of my favorite guns in my collection, and I wouldn't think twice about picking this gun up to protect my family's life with. I can just honestly tell you that. It is as accurate as you want it to be, and I promise you the gun is far more accurate than you are. It's far more accurate than I am, and once I got a few hundred rounds through this barrel, it really christened itself in really good and started shooting some pretty daggone good groups. If you don't have one, I recommend you pick it up. There are 3 guns that I do not have on this table, and it's because they are with family members and friends, keeping them safe during these times. One is a Glock 19 Gen 5, and one is a Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS, and another one is a European American Arms Windicator 357. The 19 is with a friend, and the other 2 are with family members, keeping them safe. So keep in mind, I do own 3 more handguns other than what you see here. Next on the table is a Glock 40 MOS Gen 4, chambered in 10mm. This is the long slide Glock. I love this gun. It is so accurate. It shoots so good. I could not ask for a better shooter. It is so consistent. It has an adjustable rear sight. I didn't have to do anything to it. This is hands down the most powerful handgun that you can buy from Glock. I've got a little over 1,000 rounds through this gun as well, because 10mm is actually readily available during these times, and it's cheaper than 9mm, so I've been shooting the far out of this thing. If I ever had to face a bear or a bulldozer or anything that was coming at me, this is the gun that I would want to pull out to protect myself with. If you do not have a 10mm, I highly suggest you pick one up. If you're not a Glock guy and you're a Sig guy, find a Sig chambered in 10mm. I want a 10mm 1911 so bad I can't stand it. If you don't own a 10mm or you don't own the Glock 40, I highly recommend you go out and you pick yourself one up. Next on the list is one of my favorite guns to shoot. It is one of the most accurate guns on this table. It is one of the most collectible guns on this table. That is the HK Mark 23 chambered in 45 ACP. This gun was designed and it was made strictly for special forces. However, it didn't go over that well. They called it a lemon. It was a failure. It was unsuccessful, and to me, I don't understand it, because I would have no problem carrying this gun. Coley on the Wire did a video on this gun, and the name of his video was called "The Gun I Would Take to Hell and Back." That's how ridiculous this gun is. I'm not going to go into the history of this gun. If you want to learn about this gun, and I highly recommend you do, go over to Forgotten Weapons YouTube channel and watch Ian's video on this gun. Tells you everything from the day it became a thought until the day it was released. They released so many of them to the public. I was lucky enough to get one. I just had to have it. This is a gun that I will never get rid of. It is a gun that is near and dear to me, because if you were a kid in the 90s, if you were an 80s baby and you grew up in the 90s and you had the Sony PlayStation, the original one, and you played the original Metal Gear Solid, this is the gun that you were shooting with all the time that Snake carried. He had the HK Mark 23, the Knights Armament Company's suppressor, the CAT can, and the LAM module. The laser that you use in that game is the LAM module. Now, I do have the suppressor. I don't have it with me. It's in NFA gel. I've been waiting on it since August the 7th, and when I get it and I get to bring it home, I'm going to do a full-on, just whole day of shooting this thing and a video on this. I love this gun. It came with two 12-round magazines. It was extremely expensive, and I love it more than anything in this world. Next in my collection is a gun that I am extremely disappointed in, and that is the Ruger Mark IV Tactical 2245. This has the 1911 style grip angle. It doesn't have that weird, crazy, canted Ruger Mark grip angle, whatever they call that. This is the tactical, so it has blacked out front and rear sights. It has the flat dark earth coating with the pretty G10 grips or whatever these are. It has the rail on the top for an optic, the rail on the bottom for a Capri Sun. The trigger is pretty decent. Now, when I first got this gun, I got it to suppress it. When I got my suppressor, I picked this up. I put about 6,000 rounds through it, and now it is a failure all the time. Not a jam-o-matic. It does not jam. So the problem is the painting you see on the outside is actually painted on the inside of this little receiver here, and this bolt traveling back and forth constantly rubs that paint off. So now I've shot it so much that I've got bare metal on the inside rubbing against this bolt, and if you're running it suppressed, you got about 30 or 40 rounds before the carbon builds up, and it actually carbon locks the bolt to the actual metal on the inside of this little frame here, receiver here, whatever you want to call it, and it takes an act of God to pull that bolt back. It's actually so hard that when I actually breaks loose, my hand slips off and it smacks back home and it's stuck again. So extremely disappointing. If you're going to pick one of these up just to plink here and there and only shoot 20, 30, 40 rounds through it every now and then, I don't see a problem with it, because I mean, it's great, guys. It comes apart so easy. Look, now I can clean the gun. Yay! Now it's clean. I put it back together. I go outside and I shoot it, right? So, well, I can shoot about 50 rounds through it, and then it is a failure again. So I'm extremely disappointed in this gun, and I don't expect to see this gun in the collection at the end of the year. Next on the table is my favorite 22 handgun that I have ever shot, and that is the Taurus Tx22. This gun is half the price of this gun. This gun was $250. It has adjustable rear sights, it has trigger undercuts, it has stippling that actually works and is not atrocious. Your hand really locks in place. It has a rail up front to hang a light, laser, and anything you want. It comes with two 17-round magazines, and unlike the Glock 44, it actually has a metal slide. Guys, this thing has like a 3-pound trigger. It has the lightest trigger I've ever seen on a stock 22, especially a $250 budget one. This is one of my favorite handguns to shoot. I love it. It eats everything I throw at it. It has never jammed on me. It has never given me a problem, and it is a fantastic suppressor host. Next on the table is a gun that I bought for my daughter. She is 18 months old, so obviously she doesn't get to have it, and obviously she hasn't shot it. I have never shot it. I've never taken it apart or, you know, anything like that, or loaded it or anything. But this is a Northern American Arms 22 Magnum. And this is in the Nebula, Rainbow, Chameleon color, Oil Slick, whatever you want to call it. But this was a limited edition. They only made like 3,000 of these. And once they were gone, they were gone. Every website that I find them on, they're sold out of stock, and they are not on Gunbroker. And I just thought it was a beautiful little gun, and I thought that maybe one day she would really enjoy playing with it. Granted, it's going to be one of those ones that she's really going to have to learn safety, firearm safety, and all the rules, and she's going to have to show me she's responsible before she gets to shoot this little thing. This is a great little pocket gun. If it was just the original one, I wouldn't worry about carrying this thing in my pocket one bit. I'd grab a holster and I'd slide that thing down there and I'd keep it going. I'd keep it with me at all times as a little belly gun. Somebody gets on top of you, they're attacking you, and you can't do nothing, and you're trying to defend yourself, reach down in your pocket, stick it to their belly, and pull the trigger. Simple as that. That's what these guns are for. Next is a gun that I've had for like 6 months, and I've never even really taken it out of the box. I've never shot it either. This is a 22 LR. It is a Heritage Rough Rider. Now this one has the black pearl grips. They call it the black pearl. It is a single action. It has a 9-round capacity, and it is extremely fun. And not only that, guys, the price point on this gun is $129. And for an extra $30, you can send a certificate in here and a check or a money order to Heritage, and they will mail you out a 22 Magnum cylinder. So this is a 2 caliber gun for 160 bucks. Cannot beat it. I don't care. I've had one of these before. I don't care how many thousands of rounds you put through this thing. It is going to go bang almost every time you pull the trigger. And if it doesn't go bang, it's just a bad round. I love this gun. They're so fun to shoot. I just haven't even taken this one out of the box to shoot it yet. But yeah, guys, you want something to learn to shoot with, just to learn a sight picture, learn accuracy, learn bullet drop, learn how everything works and how to compensate aiming for wind and how to shoot at distance with a, you know, this right here is the way to do it very cheaply. Alright guys, the next gun on the table is a gun that I've wanted for so long that I couldn't stand it, and now that I've got one, I am extremely disappointed in it, and that gun is the Magnum Research Desert Eagle chambered in 50 AE. Look at how beautiful this is. That color case hardened. God, it's a beautiful gun. I love this gun so much, but it is so inaccurate, and that scares me because it's a fixed barrel. This gun should be spot on where I shoot, where I point, it should shoot. I can aim 10 yards center mass on a 12 by 20 inch target. I'll shoot 3 foot off to the left with the first round, 2 foot high and off the right the second round. I'll shoot 1.5 foot low the third round. The fourth round will hit the plate. The fifth round will shoot plumb off to the right. The sixth round will shoot 6 inches off the left of the plate. Then the seventh round will shoot the top of the plate. That worried me. So I called them and they told me to send it in and they would see what was up and take care of it. I love the idea of this gun. It's fun to shoot, I mean, but it's not fun when you spend $2 on a bullet and it shoots so incredibly inaccurate. I love this gun, but I hate this gun. Next on the table is one of my favorite guns to shoot, although it hurts very bad, and that is the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. This gun, on the other hand, is extremely accurate. I do not anticipate recoil with this gun. That's what a lot of people said. You're just anticipating recoil. Guys, I can take this gun one-handed and hit what I'm aiming at. This gun has 10 times more recoil than this gun ever thought about having, and I don't anticipate with this gun one-handed, so I know I don't anticipate with this gun two-handed. This gun is an extremely fun gun to shoot. I've got a lot of exotic ammo I'm going to do some videos with here in the near future. I just can't wait to see what 2021 does for my gun collection and does for my future. Guys, that is all of the handguns that I have. This is my Lucille. Guys, this is not a gun, but up close and personal, this is a little bit more dangerous than a gun. I think I would rather take a bullet than to get my head bashed in with this thing. I love my Lucille. I'm going to go ahead and go over this one so I can hang it back up, and that is my Marlin Dark Series 4570. I love this gun. Guys, if you do not have a Marlin Dark Series 4570, I highly recommend you find one and you buy it. I shoot it so little that I don't even know how many rounds it actually holds. I think it's like 4, 5, or 6 or something like that. 5 with one in the chamber, but it has a threaded barrel. It has the ghost ring, the little peep sight back here. It has the front blade sight with a white line right down the middle. It's extremely accurate. It's extremely fun to shoot. This is one of my favorite guns to suppress, and it does have a cross bolt safety if you're into that kind of thing. Personally, I am not. I just like to throw an optic and a Capri Sun up here and go to town on it. But guys, when I go bear hunting, this and my Glock 40 is what's going with me. Next on the table is one of my favorite guns ever. It's made my childhood extremely fun, and now that I found one as an adult, it made my adulthood extremely fun. This is a Remington Model 12C 22LR 22 short. So it is a pump action. And I had one of these as a kid. This was such a big part of my childhood. This is what I learned how to shoot a pump action on. And when I found this in the pawn shop, I didn't ask no questions. I said I wanted it. I didn't care what the price was. It was 400 bucks, and which is a good deal because the 12C with the octagon barrel, I've seen them sell as high as about $1,000. And so it holds 10 22LR and like 16 or 17 22 shorts, and it's really cool. It's really fun to shoot. And so when I got this, I walked out of the pawn shop, got the serial number, and I called Remington, and they told me that this gun was made in 1924. That serial number was a 1924 number. Alright guys, so the next gun on my list is another gun that I am extremely disappointed in, and I'm extremely disappointed in the company because they've let me down. I've got around 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through this gun. It is the Ruger 1022 Takedown. This is the Magpul edition. Now granted, if you're going to buy this gun, you don't have a suppressor, you just want the Takedown to throw in a backpack, you are not going to just simply burn it up like I did. I put about 5,000 rounds suppressed through this thing. I put a Franklin Armory binary trigger in it, and now it's stuck. It won't come apart. The little thing under here is locked. It won't move. But guys, yeah, this one come with a stock that has, it came with 4 10-round magazines, 3 magazines in the stock here, and a magazine up in the gun. It has a threaded barrel 1/28. It did not come with this rail. I had to buy that rail. It has fiber optic front and rear sights, red in the back, green in the front. Extremely accurate, extremely fun to shoot, and once I put that binary trigger in it, it was extremely fun. Put about 500 rounds through the binary trigger, and then the gun just kind of started failing and just quit working. Now it won't even run through a 10-round magazine without hanging up 4 or 5 times. But if you plan on putting thousands of rounds through it like I did, I don't suggest this gun at all. Next on the table is a gun that I highly recommend, way over this one, and it's 1/5 of the cost. This is a Savage Model 62 22LR, and there is one at my Walmart right now 5 miles away from me for $99.99. It's a semi-automatic. It's got a synthetic stock. It is extremely accurate. It's got plain Jane blacked out front and rear sights, and it comes with a 10-round mag. The trigger pull is not that bad. It has a little safety on it. It has minimal features, but I'll tell you what, I probably put just as many rounds through this gun as I did this Ruger. Of course, a 22 is going to fail you every now and then. You're going to have maybe a malfunction or so every 100 rounds. I highly recommend you getting yourself one of these. This gun hardly ever failed me. And last, for my long guns that stay in the safe, this is the gun that means more to me than any gun in my entire collection. Yes, this gun is in extremely rough shape. I got this for my 12th birthday. It is a New England Partner, breakdown 12 gauge. It was $59.99 at Walmart when my mom bought this for me for my birthday. This is the second gun that's not registered to me. This is actually registered to my mom. She bought it for me, and this gun will never leave me. I need to have it taken somewhere and refinished and fixed. It's in rough shape. This gun fell out of trees. It went across rivers, swimming across rivers with it strapped to my back. This gun went through hell and back with me when I was a kid running through the woods. And if you can find one, I suggest buying one. Get you a little, everybody needs a little single shot breakdown 12 gauge in their collection. This gun taught me more about shooting than any other gun ever has. Next up are my AR-15s. And one of them is not here. I actually was kind of disappointed in the AR-10, the 308. So it's an Aero Precision AR-10 308. I probably put 60 rounds through it, and I was just extremely disappointed. So I took it down to my gun store and put it on consignment to sell. Technically, it's still mine because it hasn't sold, and if it doesn't sell within a month, I'm gonna go back down there and get it. So technically it's mine, it's just not here. But yeah, so my main AR, this gun stays loaded. There's never one in the chamber, but the magazine does stay loaded, and it's like my Glock 19X. This gun goes everywhere with me. This is my 300 Blackout. It's on an Aero Precision upper, lower, Atlas S1 handguard. It has a Faxon 10.5-inch barrel. It has Strike Industries accents, trigger guard, takedown pins, forward assist, ambi safety, charging handle, buffer tube, and it has the SBA3 tactical pistol brace, and I have a Romeo 5 Sig Sauer optic on there, one of my favorite red dots. I have a Streamlight weapons light out front with the pressure pad, and yeah, I use a C-clamp, so it's very easy for me to hit. I put it on with zip ties. And out front we have a Silencer Co. Hybrid 46. God, I love this gun. This is the first AR-15 that I ever built, and definitely is not the last, won't be the last, and I will never buy a completed AR-15 again. I will always buy them in part kits. Next is my other AR-15, and this one I built for my daughter, 223 Wild. See the painted unicorn there? So it's on the Spikes Tactical Painted Unicorn lower. It's got an Aero Precision XL upper, an Aero Precision Atlas S1 handguard. It has a mag, both of them have Magpul grips on them. This has a Faxon limited edition 14.5-inch chameleon barrel. Yeah, you see a stock, but it's pin and welded with a Landtac Dragon muzzle brake up front. It is well over 16 inches with the pin and weld. So I have a Daniel Defense stock out here on the rear of the gun with an Aero Precision enhanced buffer tube, and I have a Big Daddy Unlimited bolt carrier group. It's chameleon in here, and I have the blue Big Daddy Unlimited bolt carrier group in the 300 blackout. On top, I have the Sig Romeo 1 Pro pistol optic. I love this optic. It is my favorite. And yeah, that's about it. So put those up. That's the second one I ever built. Next is my 2 pistol caliber carbines. This is the CZ Scorpion Evo 3S2. This is the Scorpion Micro. This is the one that was discontinued. They made this exact gun for a year. They made this gun for like a drug task force team or like a DEA task force team in like South America or something weird. This gun would be so easy to clear houses with, especially if it was a little full auto, like brr, brr. Yeah, but I put a Magpul ambi safety on it. I put a Magpul mag release. I put a Magpul grip on it because the Scorpion grip and the Scorpion safety is god awful, and the mag release was really small, so I made that a little bit bigger. And I took the nose spray off, and I Loctited a 1/2x28 direct thread suppressor direct thread mount on there. I would never change out this little pistol brace. I love the Manticore Arms pistol brace. There is no positioning. It's either closed or open, and you have to push a button to put it back in, but you don't have to push a button to pull it out. So if you need it, if you want to walk in and clear a house down to your side like the Terminator, you know, like don't aim but hit everything you're shooting at, or if you want it extended, just bring it out, stick it up to your shoulder. Guys, this is a fantastic little gun. I've got probably 11 or 1200 rounds through this guy. Not a crazy lot, probably more like 1500 actually. Once we got that 50 round drum in, we really put the rounds through this thing. It's extremely accurate. Sometimes if you get subsonics and you're running a can, sometimes it just does not want to act right. I have had a couple of malfunctions out of this, but it was only with a select few rounds. The 147 grain LAX ammo remanufactured rounds, it ran them 95% reliably. Some of them it just didn't run. A lot of them it ran. Most of them it ran, but I'd say if I ran 500 rounds through it, I would have 4 or 5 malfunctions out of the LAX ammo. If I'm running like Lawman 147 grain or any other subsonic, I never had a failure. It was only the LAX remanufactureds. And next on my pistol caliber carbines is the HK SP5. Now, I had a lot of haters out there try to tell me that I'm lying and I'm acting like I have an HK SP5. They see this handguard and they see this flash hider out here, and I guess they just don't see HK SP5. But this is indeed a legitimate HK SP5. I did buy the Midwest Industries M-Lock handguard. I did buy a Silencer Co. ASR mount to put out here because I'm not going 3-lug, and it has the direct thread on it. It has the threaded barrel with the 3-lug. So I put this on it so I could ASR my Silencer Co. Hybrid 46 to it and just easily switch them back and forth. And I love the brace on this. It's got a little lever, and it's got 1 position, 2 position, 3 position. So it's a 3 position brace, whatever you want to call it. I love this gun so much. I did put a binary trigger in this thing, and for all of you haters out there, I guess I'm finally going to prove to you that it is a real HK SP5. I don't know why that is a big deal. I don't know why people tried to act like I was lying. There. HKSP5, hope you're happy. That is my 2 pistol caliber carbines. I'm gonna put them up and grab my AKs. I have 3 AKs. One is the AK that my channel is widely known for, and that is the JTS AK-12. This is a budget AK-12. This one cost me $421 after taxes, and I did buy it at the beginning of the pandemic though. There wasn't really a spike in gun stuff at that point. They were readily available all the time for $3.99. But yeah, I wasn't going to modify this thing in any way because I've got well over 4,000 rounds through it. My plan with this gun was to run it wide open on gas setting 3 no matter what ammo I put through it and see how many rounds it would handle before it fell apart. I never dreamed in a million years that it was going to handle what it's handled and still run reliably and be just as buttery smooth. So if you want a reliable budget AK-12, then I highly recommend you go with this. Don't go with the Lynx, don't go with the Vepr, don't go with the Saga, don't go with any of those other ones, because let me tell you what, this is far more reliable than a Saga, this is far more reliable than a Vepr. Now don't get me wrong, I have a Vepr here, it's just not the AK-12. I love Vepr, they're a great company, but this is reliable, this is budget. It's a third of the cost of the AK-12 Vepr, and it is far more reliable. So if you want a good budget AK-12, the JTS MK12 or the JTS MK12 T1, that's what I recommend you go with. I highly recommend this gun. I have sold a lot of these guns for JTS at this point, and I highly recommend all of you all get one. Next on my list of AKs is the Vepr 545x39. I have not shot this gun yet. It is extremely heavy, but that is because they built these guns on an RPK receiver, and it's extremely heavy, it's durable, and it is a collector's item now. They are not importing these into the country anymore, and if you want one and you find one, I highly suggest you buy it. They're not going to be around forever, guys. They're all going to get bought up and they're going to be gone. I love the way this gun feels. It is heavy. I put a sling on it. I love the ergonomics of this gun. I love just the aesthetics of this gun, just the way it looks, just everything about it. I love it. I cannot wait to do a review on this gun, but I got to build my range first. AK-74, that is a 545x39. My next one is the AK-47. This is the Palmetto State Armory AKE, and yes, it has a custom paint job on it. When my daughter was about 8 months old, 6 months old, she was finger painting, and she grabbed it, and I was so just like, oh no. And then I realized how much it would mean to me if she painted it for me. And I realized that when you look at this gun, you see, dear God, why? But when I look at this gun, I look at her baby little fingers and her baby little handprints, and I see something that means more to me than anything else in this world other than her, you know? What sucks is that this gun has started failing. It has started failing a lot. And I have about 2,500 rounds through it. I have a high round count through it. And I'm scared to death to send it back to Palmetto State Armory because I'm afraid they'll rush around, they'll not be careful, and they're going to mess my paint up. If I talk to somebody and I let them know if they mess my paint up, we're going to have a problem. But I want my gun fixed. I don't want it to be running like this. I don't know why it has just all of a sudden started running so unreliably, but it has. It does not run reliably at all now, guys, and that's very disappointing. Mine is number 502. After about 2,500 rounds, guys, this thing has started failing tremendously. I can't get through a magazine without it failing, and that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. Maybe if I just clean it up really good and lube it down and, you know, get her, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna see if I can get it running again, and if I can't, then I guess I'm gonna have to call Palmetto State Armory. So it is what it is. But guys, yeah, that's pretty much my collection. Got 30 guns, and I'm about to build another AR-15, and I'm about to build another M16. So technically, if you count my 2 lower receivers, I've got 32 guns. But if you don't count my lower receivers, then I've got 30 complete guns. If the AR-10 sells, then I have 29 guns. But yeah, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I cannot wait to see what my channel does this year. I'm so excited to see what 2021 has in store for me I hope it is as prosperous for me as it is for you guys. Alright guys, remember, like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I upload new content. Until next time guys, I love you. Y'all stay safe. Happy New Year's. I have a crossbow. Does that count as part of a gun collection? Alright, that's it. Let's go edit this video and get it uploaded for you.